Alright, so most of you guys probably already know about this. But this is really stupid. Alright? This is really stupid. Uh Chris Pratt, Star Lord, Andy Dwyer, uh what was his name in Onward? I actually don't remember. Um that's gonna bother me for the rest of the video. Point is, as the internet is wont to do, it took a group of actors by the same name and said, hey, one of them has to go between Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and Chris Pratt. I can't find the original thing because it's gone. Well, not gone, but like there's so much other BS that's come up, you know. So I can't find it. Um, but for some reason, people decided to get mad about Chris Pratt all over again. And what's funny is when I first saw the situation come up, I want to see. When I first saw the situation come up, I chose not to even like say anything about it. Um, ooh, oh man, oh man. Point is, I decided not to say anything about it because I knew what was going to happen, right? Because people have hated Chris Pratt for a long time. I've even seen comments regarding this on the Chris Pratt compilations that I have out. You should go watch those. Um, Essentially, Ellen Page, a couple years ago, I think it was like 2 years ago, decided to say that Chris Pratt goes to a church that is, oh, okay, this was early last year, goes to a church that is anti LGBT, right? She went straight after him, started yelling at him, and he said nothing could be further from the truth. I go to a church that opens their doors to absolutely everyone, right? Uh, and so Ellen Page says if you are a famous actor and you belong to an organization that hates a certain group of people, don't be surprised if someone simply wonders why it's not addressed. Being anti-LGBTQ is wrong. There aren't two sides. The damage it causes is severe. Full stop. Sending up tall. Now, if you're not aware, Ellen Page is openly lesbian. Um, I think she was outed by Brett Ratner though, and that wasn't something she was happy about way back when X-Men 3 was supposed to be coming out. So as a Christian myself, I've dealt with a lot of people finding out that I'm Christian and then immediately assuming the worst about me. I surely must be homophobic. I surely must hate sex workers. Um, I surely must hate anyone that drinks or smokes or anything like that. I'm anti everybody and I'm super hypocritical about it, obviously, because I'm a Christian, right? No, not at all. I swear I drink. I'm not a perfect person, and since nobody is a perfect person, why should I judge anybody about anything? Especially gay people, right? Because I'm not going to get into that whole translation about man lying with man rather than man lying with boy. I'm not going to get into any of that right now because that's not the point. The point is, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're lesbian, if you're bi, if you're pan, I don't care. Honestly, this is going to be one of the more controversial things I've said, but from what I've seen, the LGBT community has a lot of inward issues to work out about why lesbians and gays hate bisexual people so much, or why they hate pansexual people so much. I feel like there needs to be a discussion about that. You guys need to sort that out. Um, but far be it from me to judge you strictly for being a different, sexual identity than I am. I don't care. It doesn't impact my life at all. So, moving on. Pratt says, despite what the Bible says about divorce, my church community was there for me every step of the way, never judging, just gracefully accompanying me on my walk. They helped me tremendously, offering love and support. It is what I've seen them do for others on countless occasions, regardless of sexual orientation, race, or gender. But no church defines me or my life, and I am not a spokesman for any church or any group of people. Jesus said, I give you a new command, love one another. This is what guides me in my life. He is a God of love, acceptance, and forgiveness. Hate has no place in my or this world. So, it's like Ellen Page goes after him, and he's like, hey, you can feel that way, I guess, but this is not who I am. This is not what my church represents. This is not, you know, you're just not correct about the situation. And so this whole thing starts coming up. People want to call him a white supremacist. They want to call him homophobic. They want to call him a Trump supporter because he has, a Bible verse in his TikTok bio, I suppose. And so people have been stepping up to defend him, like his very close friends. For instance, Zoe Saldana. So people have been extremely racist towards her. Like, look at that. Look at that. That is amazing. People went after her for doing blackface in the movie, even though she's half Hispanic, half black. And so this is one of those situations where if you have people that are representing one side of a debate and they act like this, where's all the Zoe Saldana stuff? Where's all the Zoe Saldana? Did I scroll past it? Sure. Okay. If they act like this, it is going to make them lose credibility, no matter what. If people that feel a certain way about something turn this animalistic over nothing, it's going to make them seem not exactly well adjusted, and their point will probably be dismissed. So yeah, other people have come to defend him. James Gunn, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo. And wow, die. Interesting. So because they're like, hey, I've worked with this guy multiple times, I've known him for a long time, he's not a bad person, die. And that's the thing. The people that are defending him know him, like, pretty well. Zoe's known him since at least 2013, right? Same with James. Mark Ruffalo, they worked together on, actually, I don't think they had any screen time together in Infinity War or Endgame. I'm sure they've just met at, like, Marvel-related events, though. Downey worked with him extensively on Infinity War. Like, it bothers me that they're literally just, like, they're saying, like, hey, you're coming after this man, you don't know him, he's a good guy, why are you freaking out, right? And this is what's happening. People are very upset. And what's funny is that other people have been saying that Pratt is upset about this whole which Chris is the worst Chris. Let's see. We'll just search that. Because I wanted... Okay, yeah. Chris Pratt loses an online poll and gets called out. Chris Pratt, I'm a victim of a hate crime. That's not what a hate crime is. Well, I hated it a lot, okay? People are strongly insinuating, like, this here. Chris Pratt, when he saw Twitter, decided they'd rather get railed by Chris Hemsworth than by him. No, I'm not crying. People are strongly insinuating that Chris is, like, actively upset about this and saying a lot of things, like, in response to this. But let's check his Twitter. The last thing he posted was on the 12th. It is now the 21st. You know, he might not even know. He might not even care. Like, I don't see the point in, like, actually putting words in his mouth. And here we have Chris Pratt attends a homophobic church, follows radical right-wing pundits and politicians on social media. Like, which is all true. You can say anything is true, right? He goes to a church, and you can say it's anti-LGBT. Because a lot of people have this misconception that, you know, Christians hate gay people. But he's been on the Graham Norton show multiple times, which Graham Norton is also openly gay. According to Dave Bautista, his mother is a lesbian, and, you know, he's worked with Chris on 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies and Infinity War. And from what we know, has nothing bad to say about Chris Pratt, because I'm sure that Chris would know this about Dave Bautista's mother, and I just don't see how this would get under the radar. So if he were truly anti-LGBT, surely he would have said something. And the reason that I mentioned Graham Norton is because if he were truly just that against gay people, surely he wouldn't go on the person's show to promote whatever he's doing, much as people felt that Eminem's lyrics in the past were too homophobic, but he's done plenty of stage performances with Elton John, and he's met Elton John plenty of times, and Elton has had nothing bad to say about Eminem in the last 23 years. So it's you know, but this is a thing that happens with a lot of Christians in Hollywood. You know, they're just vilified for no real reason. And the last thing I want to touch on about this whole thing is people are comparing it to the Brie Larson situation and Zendaya situation, which the Zendaya situation kind of blew over in a couple of days, if I remember correctly. Basically, it's like, why weren't the cast defending Brie when the internet was going after her, and why weren't they defending Zendaya? They're not really defending Chris here out of a place of like professionalism. It's they all know him pretty well. Like, this is all friends coming to his defense. And Pratt even defended James Gunn back when he was going through his whole thing. And honestly, it was a lot harder to defend James than it is to defend Chris in this situation. So it's kind of amazing that people aren't bringing that stuff back up in this conversation. We'll see what happens with that, I guess. But I think the more interesting thing about that is, I'm not going to say that what happened to Brie was justifiable in any way, but she was saying things that got taken out of context, and it was a bunch of people who were just frustrated in one way or another. Maybe they didn't want a female-led superhero movie. Maybe they didn't like Brie as an actor. Maybe they didn't think she was very professional. But it gave them ammunition to say things that were completely unfounded. Meanwhile, Chris is just kind of existing, you know? He didn't go to a Biden rally because he wanted to be with his family, and so then by default he's a Trump supporter. You know what I mean? Like, Bree says she doesn't want a 40-year-old white dude telling her what doesn't work for her or for him in American time. That's very easy to take out of context and make it seem like she hates 40-year-old white dudes. Chris didn't say anything that could be taken out of context, didn't do anything that could be taken out of context. He's just existing. You know what I mean? And with Zendaya, people were just upset that Mary Jane, or who we thought was going to be Mary Jane, but actually isn't Mary Jane, was black. You know, that's just a thing people weren't happy about. But that blew over really quickly. And with the whole Brie Larson situation, the proof was in the pudding. You know, that movie still made $1 billion. And I don't want to be that guy, but if you look at some of the Endgame interviews, it seems like the cast didn't exactly get along with Brie super well. I don't know if that's something that factored into the whole situation, but she had defenders. You know, it's just people want to act like because the woman who was being attacked online was defended, that the man who's being attacked online can't be defended. By the way, you're looking at this this Applebee's thing right here. I drank this pretty good. Okay, went away. So basically, it's bad to like Chris Pratt, and it's definitely bad to defend him in this situation because other people were attacked in the past, and it didn't blow up in the same way that this one is. So it's better to act like that person didn't get any defense or support online because this person has blue checkmark people defending him. So that's pretty much how this is going. I think it's stupid. By the way, yes, I do follow Chris Pratt on Twitter, and I'm not about to unfollow. I've been following him for like 2 years. I like Chris Pratt. I don't much care for the Jurassic World movies, but you know what? I think he's a pretty cool guy, and it's good to have Christians in Hollywood. It's good to have Christians in Hollywood. So yeah, you can say whatever you want about me in the comments. I really won't care. You will be wasting your time. I won't read it. See you soon.